What the? Stella? What are you doing here? What are you doing in my bunk, Ava? I'm sorry. I think this is a big misunderstanding. My place got completely wrecked when the thing happened. I was told that this bunk was empty and that I could stay here until everything was sorted out. So I was granted access. Oh, yeah. I see. I was supposed to move into the chief's bunks weeks ago. I guess that's why I thought this one was free. Sorry for jumping you like this. I'm a little paranoid due to recent events. It's okay. Everything's fine. I'm sorry for the confusion. I'll tell Richard I need another bunk. No, wait. You can stay in my dad's bunk. It's right above mine. That's nice of you. Thanks. I'll request access. Of course. How are you holding up, Stella? About as well as you'd think. Everything's terrible, and I feel responsible for fixing it. And you? I'm fine. Listen, you don't need to bear all the responsibility alone. I think there are better ways we could... Hang on. Where's Chi-Chi? Chi-Chi? I didn't see her. Oh, no. She wasn't in here when I arrived, I swear. I think the door wasn't properly closed. Maybe it came loose during the incident? She must have run away again. I hope she's okay. Help me keep an eye out, will you? Sure. Can I just catch a break from... Sorry, I'm getting a call. Oh, I'll get out of your hair. Sorry for the intrusion. I'll be upstairs if you want to talk, okay? Thank you, Ava. Captain?
Chief, I'm afraid there's no time to rest after all. Please come see me at the conference room in the bridge as soon as you can.
Did you find out what caused the outage?
Let's talk in person.
Okay. Captain Taylor, I came as fast as I could.
Thank you, Chief.
Why are we meeting here?
I need to talk to you alone. The sergeants evaluated your assessment of the power outage. You were right. Power node C started the chain reaction. Knowing this, we were able to determine the reason. The ship's engine has been turned on.
What?
The ship was not equipped to perform a maneuver without any preparation. The engine hasn't been used in over 30 years.
Perform a maneuver?
We've changed course. The engines are still running. We're slowly accelerating and changing our trajectory.
Why?
Why aren't we changing it? Because the navigators are locked out from their own system. At first, they were completely unable to even boot it up. Now they can see what's happening, but they're unable to do anything.
What kind of a glitch?
It's not a glitch. The system has been hacked. The programmed maneuver will end tomorrow. Once it's complete, we'll be headed toward a different star.
A different star? Why? What's there?
Nothing. But it's a lot closer. We would be entering its gravitational pull in just about 3 years.
Can we course correct back to Eurytus tomorrow, after the maneuver's finished?
We don't know yet if the system will let us back in at that point. But even if it does, it will be too late. We'll need almost all the fuel we still have to decelerate. If we allow the ongoing maneuver to finish, we won't have enough fuel to course correct and to brake. We will be able to just do one. We either arrive at the wrong star or we overshoot the right one. Chief, I need you to understand what this means. This maneuver was only possible in a very small window of time. This is a premeditated sabotage of the mission that may have been planned for years. Whoever did this not only has intimate knowledge of our systems, they were also able to calculate and perform a complex maneuver.
Do you think they knew it would cause this disastrous power outage?
Maybe not. That part did not need to happen for their plan to succeed. It seems more like an accidental byproduct. There is a complex series of steps we usually have to take to prepare the engines to start. The hacker either didn't know about that or they weren't able to pull it off for lack of time, skill, accomplices. Whatever the reason, we believe they were hoping the maneuver would stay undetected for as long as possible. The engine is set to a very gentle burn. The change in gravity is almost unnoticeable. But there are signs of our sideways momentum that people will notice eventually. Slanted water in a tank, a ball rolling down the hall, people tripping over their feet.
Oh, I thought my balance was off because of head trauma.
Listen, Chief, this will be the most important assignment of your career. Our navigators are trying everything to regain control over the engine, but they would not give me any assurances. The hacker is the only person who knows how to undo this. You need to find them and make them talk before it's too late. If we do not course correct by the same time tomorrow, our mission fails.
Do we have any leads whatsoever?
The hack might have been perpetrated by the dissidents who we were already investigating. The timing cannot be coincidental. Talk to your sergeants at the security office to follow up on this. But we do have another lead. The perpetrator must have been at the navigator room to go through with the attack. In fact, they must have been there in the minutes right before the power went out. There are no signs of forced entry, so our prime suspects are the people who have access to the room. This includes navigators Noella, Orland, and Joseph. At least some of them should be there right now. Engineers Eric and Asher also have access, but I don't know their status or whereabouts since the incident. I've granted you access to the navigation room. Have a look around and talk to the navigators. I know that I'm briefing you right now and are instructed to help, but don't forget that we can't rule them out as suspects. Outside of them and your sergeants, you are to keep the contents of this entire meeting to yourself. Understood? Understood. Understood, Captain. That will be all. Let me know immediately when you make any progress. I will.
As I exited the conference room, 1,000 questions started forming in my head. If the hackers' sole intention had been to divert the ship, why did they specifically set course to the Otis system? Were they planning to orbit the star for the rest of time? I immediately felt that Talia wasn't telling me the whole truth, but I knew that prying would have been pointless. She had a habit of tightly controlling the flow of information, and in most instances, it was probably wise.
Oh, Captain, what are you doing here?
I would get my answers soon enough, anyway.
How did you get out ahead of me, Captain?
Chi-Chi, there you are. Come here, girl.
Chi-Chi.
What's the matter?
Chi-Chi!
Where are you going? Great. She must be really scared. I'll run into her again. It's probably going to take a few attempts to calm her down.
Yeah, and I gotta get my dog, cat, lizard back.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome back to the BackLog, and welcome back to Between Horizons. I was really hoping there for a second, right in the middle of that they would explain why everybody got flung into the wall, because, oh no, the engines turned on and sudden force accelerated them into the wall. But no, they're still going with the giant spinning ring suddenly stopped without input, breaking laws of momentum anyway. I was really hopeful for the game devs that they fixed that right there with just a quick little, oh yeah, there was too much engine. I mean, maybe they will. Maybe they'll retcon that, because we're being told this by these unbelievable narrators, untrustworthy narrators. I don't know. Navigator Orland, have you had any success regaining control over your systems?
Not yet.
Can I ask you some questions about the events that transpired here around the time of the power outage?
Afraid not, Chief.
What? Why not?
I believe we haven't formally met ever since you inherited your father's job. Didn't answer his questions, won't answer yours.
Why? And why is that?
I have my reasons. That's a long story.
Do you know what the stakes are right now? I can't help but feel like you might be involved in this mess. If you want to clear your name, you better start answering my questions now.
Tell you what, Chief. Maybe we got off on the wrong foot here. You're not your old man, so maybe this is my chance that someone will finally look into this for me.
What are you talking about?
I was framed for a crime 20 years ago. I originally joined the mission a farmer. After the verdict, I was barred from working another day in my job. I was forced to swap places with a navigator. I wasn't allowed to see my biological child anymore.
What?
They all failed me. The crew, security, William. That's why I won't help you. So you want me to reopen the case, clear my name? Even if I wanted to, you haven't given me a lot to go by. I don't even know what you're charged with. That's Sergeant Aldrich. He had a front row seat when it all went down. Fine. I'll give him a call and see what I can do. Yes, Chief? Sergeant, I'm in the navigation room looking into the power outage. I just had a chat with Navigator Orland. He's not answering my questions. He said he'll only talk to me if we reopen the case from... Is he serious? I'm afraid so. Now? He wants us to reopen his case now? It sounded like he's been wanting this for a long time, but he sees an opportunity now. Chief, this will take a while to look into. Maybe I'll find something. Just send me the old file. If you wish, but in my professional opinion, we shouldn't spend too much time on this. I'll send you a message and attach the case records. So you know what this is about? There's only one case he could be talking about. Well, two, but they're connected. You'll see. One more thing. If you're really going to look into this, you need access to the farm. I'm granting it to you now. It's above the hospital in the bio area. You can reach it via the elevator. Thank you, Sergeant. Okay. Oh, we've got multiple cases running on now. Oh, no, we don't. Never mind. Forget that. Paper chase. Sabotage. General. Just the setup. Okay. Navigator Orland claims that someone framed him for a crime many years ago. He won't help me with any investigation unless I find out who really did it. And maybe it was him after all. Sergeant Aldrich was present at the trial and still has my father's files in the case. He sent me a message, multiple attachments to get started. Cool. Okay. All Orland, Joseph, Asher, Curtis, farm. Curtis is the biological son. He was put into psych ward weeks ago, apparently on Talia's recommendation. It seems barely anyone has seen him since. Fertilizer. A plant fertilizer only accessible to very few people working on the farm floor. Sergeant Aldrich sent me this record. The fertilizer was allegedly used on a makeshift explosive by Navigator Orland, who worked as a farmer at the time. Oh my. This file says Farmer Orland was found guilty of using an explosive to gain access to his ex-partner Zena's bunk in the residential area during a custody battle over their biological child, Lewis. The most damning piece of evidence was a fertilizer used in the makeshift explosive, only accessible to Farmer Orland and his colleague, who had an alibi. My dad was chief at the time, and Sergeant Aldrich was his right-hand man. Orland was found guilty and transferred to the navigation room, where he no longer has access to dangerous chemicals. He was also put under a temporary restraining order against Zena and Lewis. So this is Curtis. That's not helpful. Navigator Joseph, how are things going?
Chief, I'm so sorry about this whole mess. We're still locked out of our system. Somebody must have done this on purpose. We'll continue trying to regain control, but it's proving to be very complicated.
Good luck. Please contact the sergeants immediately if you make any progress.
I will, Chief.
Do you have any idea what went down here leading up to the incident?
I'm sorry, Chief. I hadn't been here for hours prior to the attack. I was out celebrating Arrival Day.
Can anyone corroborate that?
Engineer Ferret and I were talking to Dr. Yaha when the power outage happened, and in the hour leading up to it.
So you weren't in here at all that day?
As far as I know, nobody was supposed to be in here that day.
Thank you, Navigator Joseph. Yeah, I mean, because once you set the ship on its way, as soon as you've gotten up to speed, I mean, what's the point? Do we have a second case yet? No, we do not have a second case yet. Joseph's alibi. Okay, so if we go talk to Dr. Yaha and Engineer Farad.
Chi-Chi, why'd you run away from me? Come here, I'll bring you back home.
Chi-Chi.
Chi-Chi, wait! Next time. We'll get him. Don't you worry. No, I don't need to go into the brig. Stella, what's going on? Oh, look at these bars! Oh my! Lewis, why'd you throw me back in here? Lewis, I had nothing to do with that decision. I got knocked out cold. I know, I was there. I'm glad you're back up on your feet. But I want to see what's going on out there. I want to help. You're the first person to come in here today. Can you please let me out? I won't go against my sergeants on this. I know you were cooperating, but this whole ordeal is far from resolved. Fine. Can I at least get my rations? I'm starving. Of course. I'm sorry they're keeping you waiting. There's a lot going on. I'm putting a notice out right away. Have you heard from Xena? They told me she's okay. Good. Lewis, I need you to stay put here. We're working things out as fast as possible. If you know anything that could speed up our investigation, now's the time to tell me. I told you everything. Sorry, buddy. Hey, Lewis. This. I have a question for you, if I may. What were you doing when the power outage occurred?
I was in the residential area, Chief, celebrating Arrival Day.
Do you remember who you were with?
I was chatting with Navigator Joseph and Dr. Yaha at the bar. We'd been there for a while before the lights went out.
Thank you.
Sure thing, Chief.
Okay, cool. So that's corroborated. Yaha! Hey. Dr. Yaha, I have a quick question for you. What is it, Chief? Where were you at the exact moment the power outage occurred? I was at the bar in the residential area. Who were you with? I was talking to Ferret and Joseph. Why do you ask? Just trying to gather some facts about the incident. Thank you. Okay, cool. So now we can be fairly confident that this is true. And he's not the guy. Okay, it's the farm. Chi-Chi, stop! Chi-Chi! This one's on me. I definitely scared her away. I need to take a different approach next time. Yeah, try scanning the area. Hello, Umberto. Farmer Umberto, how are things going up here?
Could be better, could be worse, Chief. Nava and I weren't hurt after all. We got lucky. One of our tanks was toppled over. It's too heavy to lift for the two of us, but backup is on the way. The plants are taking it surprisingly well so far. We don't anticipate a disruption in the supply chain. It took a while to mop up the water and soil, though. I hope we didn't clog the recycler. Now the chaos in this place is almost back to its original state.
That sounds good. I was a little worried about the food supplies. Nava? Farmer Nava, are you holding up in here?
So far, so good, Chief. The plants don't seem to be all that damaged, and that's the most important thing.
Good.
How come you're visiting the farm? Just checking in on everyone?
It's for a case. The case leads me here, actually.
Really? Are you investigating the ring failure? Did someone do it on purpose?
No, it's not about that. Long story. I might have some questions for you.
For me? Sure, ask away.
Okay. Fertilizer.
Do you know what this is? Yes, of course. It's a fertilizer we use pretty frequently in here.
Is it possible that a non-farmer got their hands on it somehow a long time ago?
Well, we're not allowed to give them out, and we keep very strict inventory nowadays.
Nowadays?
My dad once told me that it wasn't always quite as strict, but the chemicals were always meant to be used by farmers exclusively.
Is it possible that he gave some of them away here and there?
I can't say for sure, but Rose begged him all the time, and he always turned her down as far as I know.
Rose?
It makes sense. She's obsessed with her plants. In any case, if my dad ever snuck out chemicals, it certainly ended a year ago. Because that's when he died, yes.
Yeah, and that's going to be kind of a bummer there. Okay, oh, we just unlocked this chain back to here. Cool. All right, I need to talk to you about Orland.
How well do you know Navigator Orland, if you don't mind me asking? We haven't talked much in many years, honestly. Of course, I knew him well as a kid. I basically grew up around here when he was still a farmer.
Are you familiar with Engineer Zena's case against him?
Of course, that's why he left. It was big drama, but I was still very young when it happened.
I went over the files. The most pertinent piece of evidence against him was a chemical compound used in a makeshift explosive. Hypothetically, is it possible that someone other than Orland or your father could have accessed this fertilizer?
Oh, that's why you've been asking about this. I really think I told you all I know already.
Yes, Umberto, yaha.
That's me.
Yeah, sorry.
Farmer Umberto,
I'm looking into this old case involving Navigator Orland.
You talking about that?
Really old one? The one that resulted in you trading places, yes.
Oh, that's a surprise. Why are you telling me?
Do you believe he's guilty of the crime he was convicted of?
Chief, I really don't know why you believe I know the answer to this. I only know that he claims to be innocent to this day.
do you believe him?
At least he's never lied about anything else to me.
Oh, yes. Let's talk about the fertilizer.
Farmer Umberto, are you familiar with this substance?
Of course I am. I use it almost daily.
Does any of it ever leave the farm floor?
We are not allowed to take it away from here, Chief.
Are there any measures in place to ensure this?
It's just a rule, but I promise we never break it.
Not even once? Maybe years ago?
Not since I transferred here from the navigation room, to my knowledge at least.
That seems super weird to me. Why would you transfer a navigator to be a farmer? I mean, that just doesn't make sense. Doesn't make any sense at all. Okay. Okay, so Lewis's mom, Rose, not Rose, Zena. Zena was married to Orland as a farmer. Then he was framed. Now Zena, we need to go talk to Zena here. Methinks. Okay, there's Lewis's bunk. His mom's in here. Zena, hey, we need to talk. What about Orland?
Zena, there's something I need to ask you about. I've learned about your involvement in a custody battle. Oh, did your father tell you about this?
No, not really.
No, Zena. Maybe I can trick her. Anyway, your custody battle with
Navigator Orland?
Farmer Orland, right? Yes, what about it?
This custody battle happened recently. Oh no.
Yes.
How did it go for you?
Just Assistant Chief Stella, I don't know if we should be talking about this.
What makes you say that?
It's just, I think your father has it under control.
Of course. I just want to check on his behalf.
So he told you everything. So it's done. Did he use the thing Doran gave him for his little tree?
Oh. Could you fill me in on the plan again?
Oh, Stella, I think I said too much. Just tell your father I'm eternally grateful, will you?
I will. Thank you, Zena. Hope you feel better soon. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Our dad was involved.
I told Xena that the custody battle only happened recently. I don't feel great about tricking her, but she did say something very interesting. It seems like my dad helped her shortly afterwards. The way she talked about it made it seem like it wasn't above board at all. She thought I was in on it and asked if he used the thing that Dorian gave him for his little tree. Who's Dorian again? Hold on. My dad's bonsai tree. It's been my dad's bunk ever since I can remember. He always liked to brag about being the only one on the ship. Apparently people around him gave it a month to live when he brought it on board. Miraculously, even though it hasn't grown much since, it's still here 33 years later. Unfortunately, it seems like it finally started wilting slowly a few months ago. Wait, who's Dorian? Who's Dorian? Okay, so can I show you the bonsai tree?
Oh, sorry, I don't know. What was the question?
Xena, have a look at this record. Do you know what this is?
I'm not sure.
It's used in the farm area.
Oh, Did Chief William show you this?
How would my dad get hands on it?
I just thought because it's part of the case against my ex-husband, he used this to break into my bunk.
So I've heard. Thank you. Yes, here's that bonsai tree.
Sorry for the mess. I haven't had much time to clean it up yet. Plus, I feel a little weird going through your dad's stuff.
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Let me know if you want to switch bunks. I'm up for it anytime.
Thank you. I think I'll stay downstairs a little longer. I just need this tree real quick. Because it's part of an previously ongoing... There's a second tree. Didn't mention the second tree, did we? Okay. All right. So... This makes it look like my dad was the culprit. Which I don't feel great about. Why would my dad make a bomb? My biological father. We don't talk much. What about him? I don't know what you mean. That your old man's bonsai? I've heard the rumors. Is that a recent record of it? Yeah. Well, I'll be. That's impressive. You should show it to Nava if you haven't already. I should show it to Nava. And she'll tell me that's impossible. There must have been fertilizer to get it to grow that big. Have you ever seen my dad's bonsai tree?
No, that still exists.
Yeah, take a look. I have a recent record of it.
No way. How?
How's it survived for so long?
Exactly. These were hard enough to grow back on Earth from what I've heard.
I don't know. Maybe you have an idea how my dad did it? We have special chemicals up here that could make this possible, but without them, I honestly don't see how. Do you think he could have access to them?
I think I already told you everything about that. If he got his hands on that fertilizer, maybe from my dad over a year ago.
What about these roses?
I have nothing to say about that right now.
Okay.
Farmer Ubuntu was very impressed with Dad's bonsai. He told me to show it to his colleague Farmer Nava. According to Farmer Nava, it's very unlikely that my dad's bonsai survived without any special chemicals like the ones they use on the farm. Who used the fertilizer in the makeshift explosive? Well, snap. Snap. Absolute snap. Well, it looks to me Sergeant Aldrich was his right-hand man. Orland was found guilty and transferred to the navigation room where he no longer has access to dangerous chemicals. It looks to me like this sentence is not correct. Use the makeshift explosive only accessible to Farmer Orland and his colleague. It was accessible to other people, for sure. So let's go talk to... Let's go talk to Aldrich. Sergeant, Captain Talia said you could clue me in on our next steps. Yes, Chief. He suspected that paper was being stolen from the activities room at the museum, so we had Engineer Isaac surveil their recycler specifically. This morning he informed us that an unusually large amount of paper was recycled at the museum's break room. We suspect that whoever kept stealing paper over the last few weeks got cold feet and dumped it all. Interesting. Do we have the exact time of this happening? Precisely 11:13 this morning. It should be noted that the break room has only accessible to museum staff. It connects the museum hall and the activities room. To prevent the public from barging through, the room has a keycard scanners installed on both sides. You have clearance, so the doors will open for you without a card, and there won't be new entries in the log when you pass through. There are no signs of a break-in, and the museum is clogged anyways as they're assessing the damage. The entrance to the activities room already broke during the power outage, and we're positive that nobody used it since. So you're saying that the person who recycled the paper this morning must be Devrin, Baptiste, or Ocean. They're all at the museum now. We told them that you'll come over to ask them some questions, just to get an overview of the situation at the museum. Not sure if they bought it. Doesn't historian Mikio technically have access to? He should, but you know him, he hasn't shown up for work in a long time. So his access was actually revoked a while ago. Good work. I'll have a go look around. And you... Bonsai. I don't think I can help with this right now. My dad. I don't think you can help with this right now. Yeah, you're not helpful at all. Hey, Stell? Yes? I know you put a lot of pressure on yourself, usually more than you should. This is a high-pressure situation. You know what I'm talking about. You're trying to live up to expectations that maybe nobody else has of you. Talia is always very clear about her high expectations. Talia has impossible expectations of everyone. It's not healthy. I'm just trying to say, William would be proud of you no matter what. Thank you. Yes, but what did my father do? It looks like he gave evidence. I don't know. Cases. Yes, okay, I've got 2 open cases now. Cool. We will deal with this one later. We gotta deal with this one right now. Who made the makeshift explosive? And it really, as much as I hate, it's looking like it's my dad. It looks like it's my dad. Not necessarily that it was my dad, but who's Dorian? Yeah, who's this Dorian? We gotta figure out who this Dorian person is. Hold on. Okay. Stay cool. Chi-chi. Stink. Okay, that was probably creepy. Hello. Hi. Nice to meet you. I need to get in. I'm a police. Okay, Rose. Spill the beans.
Janitor Rose, do you know what this is? Oh, yes, the object of my desires. I used to beg the farmers for a drop of this to help with my plans, but to no avail.
So they never gave it to you? Do you think anyone ever else got their hands on it?
Dear, I really don't know. Maybe they would have had different responses if I were crew. I brought a bonsai from Earth and I watched it slowly wither away over the first year of the mission. I'm sure the fertilizer would have helped, but the farmers wouldn't budge.
What about my father's bonsai? Janitor Rose, have you ever seen this bonsai?
It's beautiful. Is this a record from Earth?
No, the bonsai's in my dad's bunk right now.
Really? This is a recent picture.
Yeah, I guess my dad was good at taking care of it.
Stella, dear, he's a wizard. I cannot fathom how he maintained it so well for all these years. Did he have some extra help from the farmers?
I'm not sure, but I do have a hard time keeping the tree healthy now that it's my responsibility.
It's incredibly hard. I brought a bonsai from Earth myself, but it died within a year.
Yep. Nope, I know. Yeah, it's looking like my dad had extra help. He's looking a bit sus. I really hate to say it, but unless we can find this Devrin. Yeah. Okay, so as much as I hate to say that, oh yes, my father is the one who made the explosives, he certainly biffed the case. And this is a possible. Oh, what's it? A shadow of a doubt. So I'm gonna have to say, William, my dad, he biffed that case real good, and he very well could have made the makeshift explosive. I don't know why though. But the setup, William, who made the makeshift explosive? Yep. Chief. Yes? Are you sure about this? Whether I got it right or whether I should report it? Sure about both. Did you know? I have no idea, Chief. And frankly, I don't know if I can believe your findings here. Read my report. Of course, it's been way too long to prove it definitely, but you have to agree that everything points to my dad. I do. What do we do now? I have to tell Orland. Will he be exonerated? Everything from here on out will depend on the ethics committee. I hope this will be worth it, Chief. See if he finally talks when you present him with the results. I'm sure he'll keep his word.
Out of all the unbelievable and traumatizing events of those days, the revelation that my dad had destroyed the life of an innocent man was one of the things that hit me the hardest. My brain immediately scrambled to make excuses for him. He must have been trying to protect his Renzina and her child from an abusive spouse. Even still, my father's blatant violation of the Codex just didn't fit the idealized image I had of him at the time. My whole life, I had aspired to be just as upstanding as him. Learning that he hadn't always lived up to that ideal himself was a tough pill to swallow.
Well, there you have it. The case is closed. Oh. Yep, that's pretty tough when your idols don't quite live up to what you've set them up as. But we'll get back to the main case, and we will tell Navigator Orland of his exoneration next time. I'm going to come back here on the BackLog. Until then, I'll play it again later.